Hi, my name is Meg Harrison, and I own BlackWing Farms very, very proudly for the last 17 years. We've been helping people, helping animals, and you are our heroes. You are our divine inspiration. And what I want to do today is to show you, tell you, talk about making our own essences. We all have to start somewhere. And yeah, they're easily bought now. There are many, many, many people who are willing to sell them. But I also say, come on, let's make our own. Why not? Here's what we need. It is this simple. It really is. A glass bowl, distilled water. I say distilled because it's hungry. It's also accessible. I don't care if you're on a fire line in California or a storm line or a tornado, post tornado in Oklahoma. We can all find distilled water. And I do it because we know that it's a little cleaner, a little more purified but you know what? If you've got a mud puddle, go for it. So we've got the glass bowl, we've got sunshine, and we have dandelion. I know you can see the dandelion right there. I am obsessed with dandelion. I love it. It is the most amazing flower in the world. So what I'm going to do is I'm reaching right over and I'm just picking a little top, just a little top of dandelion. And you guys, literally, this is it. For me, would take probably 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 flower tops. We can't use all the flower tops available. In Native American tradition, many of the tribes, we call it 7 generations, and you walk past the first 7 plants, first 7 blooming plants, and leave that for the future generations. And then you can pick your flower. And if you cannot, and this is just me, if we cannot find that next flowering plant, we don't use it that year. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one for me to walk past and go, I can't do it. My son talked me out of picking some orchids, very delicate orchids in Michigan, because he said, Mom, if you pick that, the whole colony will die within 2 years. And that again is why we use no bark in our practice either, because the trees, let's say you want birch or cinnamon bark, people use it all the time. And what happens is eventually when the tree is stripped of its bark, it will die. Maybe not that season, maybe the next year, but it will. And so we don't use no bark, no roots in our practice. Roots, oh my gosh, dandelion roots, are you kidding me? They sometimes are longer than what we see on the top. Now look at that plant back there. That plant back there has got to be, what would you say, almost 3.5, maybe even 4 feet tall. And so those roots just go so deep. Dandelion is for deep-rooted fears. Make sense? Dandelion is optimistic, showy, the gardener's bane. You can't kill it. You step on it, it springs right back up. You try to poison it, it doesn't poison because that taproot is so long, and now it's going to grow this way and then grow back up. What else about dandelion? I just love this. In one dialect, one language, there are 150 different names for dandelion. Depends on when it blooms, where it blooms, etc. It's also called the floral clock. So a lot of times we're off schedule and we don't know how to get back on schedule. This is the floral clock, and it will help us regulate ourselves and our schedule and our circadian rhythm. So, and I say all these different things only because I've researched them all. I mean, who else would read up on dandelion like I have? I'm working on a great blog. It's called Interview, INTER hyphen view with a dandelion. I am just that obsessed with these guys. They have so much to offer us. Again, showy, optimism, cheer, floral clock, the first to bloom in the spring and the last to die in the winter. So they have they're called the floral clock also because we can literally tell the time of day because they are at their biggest bloom at the zenith of the sun. So it's not high noon to us, but it's the day's highest peak of the sun. What else? And then of course, when it closes, it will close before sundown. What you guys, you know dandelion, you love dandelion. So here's what we do. Back to this. You sit it in the sun for at least 20 minutes, maybe 40. Be careful. I like to cover it with a glass top, and then you strain it and you can add a preservative if you're not going to enjoy this within the next week. So I love to sprinkle it on the ground. I love to, you can put a little bit in your tea, and it's flower water. That's it, you guys. It's not that complicated, and it's so empowering for all of us. So right now, this time of year, I'm serious. It's really bad. I've got 2 orange trees that I'm sitting right next to. So I'll be making some orange blossom water later today. What else do we have? Dandelion, rose, lavender. And just be careful. Just know what you're picking, because, of course, nature has a way of mimicking poisonous plants, or noxious or toxic plants have a way of mimicking healthy ones. So be careful. Know what you're doing. And again, no fertilizers, etc. When we are picking and choosing our essences. I'm available. I'm Meg Harrison, BlackWing Farms. I am completely available, and I'm here to help, because then you in turn will help your animals and your family. Thanks for letting me share today. Bye.
You've been listening to Animals Inside Out, brought to you by BlackWing Farms. If you know anyone who could benefit from today's episode, please consider sharing it. Also, if you want to learn more about BlackWing Farms and the incredible natural remedies for mental, physical, and emotional needs of animals, go to blackwingfarms.com and enter Animals Inside Out for 10% off your next purchase. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you in the next episode.